Outstanding!
Hello everyone, I'm Lauren Inglis and welcome to my Expat Moving Story, a life of relocation. In this episode, we are unfortunately coming to our final 4-part interview with travel coach and cross-cultural consultant Robert Maisel. And in part 4, we are going to look a bit more closely and ask the question whether or not companies are providing enough training and support to their international assignees when preparing them to move to a new country. We'll hear what Robert has to say on this question coming up next.
Relocating to a new home. New people. New schools. New beginnings and new adventures. Shared with all, right here, on my Expat Moving Story, with our host Lauren Inglis.
Just because your focus is so cultural, and from the background of corporate relocations and corporate international assignments, do you think that from the people that you know and your clients and people that you speak to, do you feel that enough companies place a high priority on giving their assignees cultural training and putting them through cross-cultural training before the assignment?
No, Lauren, I don't. And it's really interesting because when I started to get into this world, I was so perplexed that this type of training wasn't more prominent, wasn't given to more people on more assignments, because through my experiences through the world, it's this learning that takes place is so vital to understanding ourselves, how we operate in new environments, which affects teamwork, which affects productivity, and which affects the bottom line of businesses. So I really have found that I was surprised at first. I still don't think enough companies are offering this benefit to their employees, but we are starting to see a shift, which is really exciting. I think since the pandemic and the world becoming more globally connected, we're definitely seeing an increased awareness of it, which is really exciting for someone who's so passionate about culture like me.
That's good. And do you think the same goes with language training as well? And because I know from some previous interviews that I've seen you on, you seem to share my kind of passion about spousal support and
Yes,
for many companies, the lack thereof. Do you think that that's being offered in enough, the language training aspect, to assignees as well as to spouses as well and family?
I don't. So it's a similar answer to the last question. I feel that in both the case of cross-cultural training and language support and spousal support, I don't think companies overall are supporting their employees enough in this regard. I think it's a major issue, because we have to remember that a few things. The culture of a place is very important for somebody to understand, because quite frankly, the way that I operated in Japan was very different than the way I operate in the United States. And that's because I cannot operate the same way there, because I have to learn about the culture and how to do things. Similarly, with the languages being different in different locations, it's so important to understand, at least the basic elements of the language, if not have a firm understanding, because it really affects communication and a sense of understanding. And one of human beings' most basic needs is the need to be understood. So you can just feel, think about how it would feel to be struggling to communicate and feeling like you're not understood, right? And in line with that understanding of that feeling of being understood, it's important that the entire family feels understood and that the entire family feels important. And here's another thing that we're touching on, another really, really important human need. One of the human needs that I find most often in life is neglected, is the need to feel important. We all have it. And so oftentimes people in life don't get into situations where they feel like that. So if a spouse or kids might feel neglected because they are in fact not only a major part of this person's life who is relocating, right?
That's
So I
what
think
they
that
say. If the family are not happy, then that's when the majority of failed assignments happen, right?
totally
So
agree.
yeah, it's very interesting. And I think, for the viewers who are on the HR and global mobility side of it, it's something that is widely discussed. It's definitely becoming more discussed in HR and global mobility, which is a good thing. And I guess I hope that they do eventually realize that it's such a crucial element for any global assignment, really.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Lauren, I think what it comes down to, what we need to remember is, sure, it's a business, and we have to keep in mind each move and transactions. Did the
Yeah,
shipment arrive? Did the people arrive? Yes, but at the end of the day, we are moving people, right?
that's it. It's an emotional thing.
Right,
That's it.
right.
Thank you for the excellent advice, Rob. That's awesome. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expat moving stories. Before we end off, I'd really like you to take a couple of moments to tell us about your book that's just come out a few months ago. If you'd like to show everyone your book and share a little bit of information about it, that would be great.
Oh, you know what, Lauren? It's so funny. It's actually, shipment is coming in right now. Boom. Here it is.
Brilliant.
So
That is awesome.
it's called Transform Through Travel, Connecting Across Cultures. And the book is about travel, as you might glean from the title. It's
Yeah.
really about how I was able to transform through travel, through these amazing experiences I've had all over the world, how I was able to connect with people all over the world, but not just people, nature, cultures, myself, creatures, the universe, everything and anything. And so I think travel allows us to do so many cool things that are really impactful and life-changing. And the point of this book was really to show people, hey, I've really been fortunate to have all these experiences and learn all about this. And I want to, through my experiences, through sharing these experiences, show my readers that this is possible for them too, and look at the incredible things that you can do through travel.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today.
My
Absolutely
pleasure.
brilliant to get your insights and your advice. And yeah, definitely looking forward to getting a copy of your book as well and checking that out.
Thank you so much for having me on this show. A phenomenal opportunity, and I am most humbled and grateful for you and the work you are doing.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been great chatting to you. As Robert says, yes, it's a business, but at the end of the day, we are moving people, which means we need to go that extra distance and make sure that we do everything in our power to make those who we move feel comfortable through the entire process. Robert, I can't thank you enough for being our guest here on My Expat Moving Story and sharing your experience with our audience. Folks, be on the lookout for Robert's book, Transform Through Travel. And please make sure to visit Robert at robmaisel.com to learn more and to get inspired for your next travel adventure. Till next time, everyone, this has been Lauren Inglis for My Expat Moving Story. And remember, a life of relocation always has a great moving story to be told. Take care and safe travels.